and he couldn't be here today, so I'll take over. And so my name is David Langenberg. I've been in the fire service for 17 years. I've done police, fire, EMS. I've done a lot of different public service jobs, but I come from the Village Fire Department. I was there for 16 and a half years at that point. I was a deputy fire chief over there, and again, I'd like to thank the city council and the mayor and the city manager for the opportunity to come out here and take on this challenge of taking over for the fire service and EMS for the city of Humboldt. Thank you very much. I don't really have anything else to say other than the fire department's going through a bunch of changes, like Jason said, and please come by the fire station anytime. We can talk about the hundreds and hundreds of things that we're working on all at once, and thank you again.
Thank you, Chief. I saw you slipped in the back. City Councilman Norman Funderburk is with us today. He comes to almost every Bizcom, so thanks for being here. I know I've asked this several times. I'm going to ask again. How many of you have been to a performance at the Bender Performing Arts Center? Hands are going up. Awesome. Isn't it a great venue? 353 seats, not a bad seat in the house. And I will definitely be there Saturday because we have an Elvis tribute artist there. And some of you know I'm a huge Elvis fan, so thank you very much. So anyway, so to tell us everything that's happening at Bender and the Senior Activity Center, which I just learned, I knew it had been there for years, but I was asked to do an assessment of the facility, and I was amazed at all the programs and the people that they serve through that. So let me introduce Jennifer Wooden to tell you more about that.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. So first, thank you to Jason. Where'd you go? Did he step out? Thank you for your leadership. You have an energy and a dry humor that we absolutely love. And I'll tell you just from my department in particular, there is a rumbling under the surface, and we're really excited about your leadership, so thank you. And thank you, Norman Funderburk. So, I am Jennifer Wooden. I'm the director of the Humboldt Civic Center, the Arena, the Senior Activity Center, this Philip Sezo. We get all kinds of things. Like last week we got Philip Casanova Recreational Building, and then the Charles Bender Theater. So thank you for having me. My department is the extension into the community, and with the City of Humboldt proudly representing today, a great organization to work for, and we're very grateful for the leadership. So I first want to talk about the Senior Activity Center. It's not talked about much. I don't usually talk about it when I'm presenting, but it's a place for our seniors in Humboldt, and I have said that I just want it to be the go-to place for all the seniors to be able to not only exercise, but to find friendships and have a place where they can spend the day and exercise their minds and their bodies. I had the director there to send me a few of the things, so the top 10 things, I think. So there's exercise classes, rhythm walking, Tai Chi, pickleball. Who knows what that is? Okay, I got a good workout with that. It's like tennis inside with a really light, what are those balls called? Whiffle? Yeah, that ball. Yeah, it was a really good workout. There's line dancing, bowling club, bingo, bridge, bunco, coloring with jazz. I don't know, and lots of luncheon. So feel free to go or send your senior relatives there. It's a good place to be, good place to grow. And next, the Humboldt Civic Center. So I have a few of the activities or the events that are coming up that are public events. There's 5 buttons. Yep, there we go. So these are just for October, November, and December. I will say this is not all we have going on because we are booked out through 19, which is a big deal. But these are the public events for the next few months. Kingwood Women's Club Holiday Market. Does anyone go to that? That's a great annual holiday market. That's October 22nd and 23rd. Garcia Promotions is there about once a month with MMA fights. They're definitely Las Vegas-style MMA events, and that's November 3rd. The Houston Gem and Mineral Show is there every November, and we now have a Premier Gun Show. This is their second time coming, but they've booked 4 times for next year. They said that this is their best venue that they've been to, so if you want a gun, you got a gun, you want to see guns, then come. Okay, and moving on to the Bender Theater. So how many of you said that you have been there? Okay, that's pretty exciting. I think when I asked last, it was about 4 hands. So the city of Humble had the foresight to purchase the building that was in dilapidation in 2012, and so thank you for that cultural gift to the city. Restored and redesigned by Joyner Architects, opened in 2015, but the new milestone as of last week that we're celebrating is that we now have a full season booked out for 2018-2019. So we have a full season that I will introduce to you now. Okay, I want to tell you about a quick dream that I have. It's a recurring dream that I have. I've had it for years, and it's a dream that I am in my home, like a home that I've lived in, and I wake up one day and discover that there's a really cool sunroom that I've never known about before. Well, that's kind of how Bender is. Like, I always go into the city for entertainment, but it's like good stuff right here. So every time we have an event, I see lots of surprised faces when they come out, and they're so excited about the quality of entertainment. We're not just throwing shabby stuff on stage. So here is our fall season. How many of you went to Jade Simmons' concert? Concert pianist, amazing speaker. She was phenomenal. We have Vince King, Elvis tribute artist, that's going to be here on this weekend, and then 2 children's plays that are also in October. Our holiday season is, we have 5 shows, so we're opening it up with a Motown Christmas, and that's November 3rd. We're opening Christmas a little bit early this year. That's a Motown Christmas with Mary Griffin. Mary Griffin, interestingly, sang backup for Patti LaBelle for years, and she does a great Motown show. The Met Dance of Houston, is anyone familiar with that company? They're the 2nd largest dance company in the Houston area, and they'll be on the Bender stage. I'm really excited about that. Summer Creek Orchestra will have a holiday symphony orchestra on the 17th of November. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is a ballet, and we have a gift, which is the Tidelanders Christmas show that the city of Humble gifts to the city. So that's a free show for you guys to come to. Our winter season at Bender. So something that we're introducing, we introduced it last year, but it's fully developed this year with the Humble Rodeo. I guess it was Bodie Wagner's baby that he came up with, but we're going to have the Humble Voice. And so all the prelims will happen at the high schools, and then the finals will happen at Bender, and it's called the Humble Voice on January 12th. 3 winners will get to sing with the celebrity artists at the rodeo. So that's a really cool thing for the students, open to all students in the high schools. We have Vataka Dance Project coming in January with Night at the Ballet. February 1st and 2nd, instead of sending our art into Houston for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, we are now having our own competition. We house it at the Bender for 2 days. There's a reception on the evening of the 2nd, and it's judged there. Money goes back to the students, and that'll be a great rodeo art exhibit in February. And then last in the winter is a stage play. It's an adult stage play, and it's called No Soldier Left Behind. Interestingly about this, the playwright was a main character on A Different World, the spin-off of a Cosby Show. Yeah, so she's the playwright, and she approached us to use our theater. You're supposed to say, oh, ooh, I don't know. All right, so then the spring shows at Bender. We have Bruce Wood Dance Company from Dallas. Rob Landis is coming back. Rob Landis is I have to tell this quick story, and that will be really quick. Okay, so Sharon Mittag came to me and she said, if you want to fill Bender, you invite Rob Landis. And I was like, well, yes, ma'am, I will. Love her. So I go back to my office, I look up Rob Landis. Rob Landis music pops up. I hired this guy out of Utah with a violin. So the month before he comes, this is like 8 months out, the month before he comes, she comes to me, she's like, he doesn't play the violin and he's not from Utah. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know who this guy is. So the guy comes last year. He was phenomenal. He's actually a graduate of Rice. He played on stage. He does a loop pedal. He was raised on classical music, trained at Rice, was super excited about coming back, and he said, who's the lady that was excited to have me? I was like, well, so this is my best, worst mistake ever. People loved him. At intermission, there was a local company who offered to sponsor him to come back. So he'll be back in March, and that's Rob Landis on the violin. He's crazy good. 80 Players is an incredible Christian theater company in Houston. They'll be here in April for an Easter play. The Emerging Artists Dance Festival is a dance festival that we're hosting at Bender that gives scholarships all over the country back to the students, the dancers that are here that'll be participating. And then CYT will be presenting Hercules. And lastly, we have summer, I think I called it Sizzling Summer at Bender. We'll have Kenny Neal back, who was at that show. He's a blues artist out of Baton Rouge, really good guy. Fab Five is coming back. And this guy I happened to run into at Green Oaks Tavern. He was great, and he'll be here in August of 2019. And that's it. So I challenge you to go to the website and get tickets.
Thank you, Jennifer. And the Elvis Tribute Artist is actually through a separate, what would you call him, a company? If you go to the website, there are a few tickets left for Saturday, if those of you are interested. And so I just wanted to let you know that. Hey, I want to introduce and acknowledge someone that came in that I didn't see at the beginning. She's probably the hardest working person I know. I think she starts at 5 in the morning and probably doesn't quit until 9 or 10 at night, or probably later. And that's Superintendent of Humble ISD, Dr. Liz Fagan. Great to have you here. And Assistant Superintendent, I forget his title exactly, but Dr. Roger Brown. Yeah. So thank you all for being here today. So we have a couple of community announcements from Humble ISD. So Miss Jerry Monbaron and Dr. Robert Moe, would y'all come up?
Because last year it did have to be canceled because of Harvey. So the foundation really counts on the proceeds from the golf tournament to fund innovative grant requests from our teachers. One of them that they funded last year was the Lake Houston Watershed Project. So this is a project where elementary and secondary students are going to be working together to study the Lake Houston watershed and why that resource is important and what happens when things don't go well with the watershed. And so those types of projects that our teachers are wanting for our kids to really bring innovation into learning in the classroom. So when you participate in the golf tournament, those proceeds fund those. So we appreciate that. I do have some flyers about the golf tournament. It is November 9th. It is a Friday. It is going to be at Oakhurst. It's a morning tee off at 8:30, and then we end the day with a wonderful scrumptious lunch and then send you off to start your weekend early. So I'll have flyers with me as well as on the purple table on your way out. So thank you very much.
Okay, and I'm here to give you some updates on Humble's Centennial celebrations. Those of you that don't know, where's the clicker? Thank you. Down, all right. Okay. I messed that up last time, I remember. Okay, if you don't know, Humble is celebrating its 100th anniversary. So I'm going to explain what that means so you get a quick history lesson, whether you like it or not. I guess my time was up. Okay. So in 1884, all of Harris County was divided geographically into school districts. These were called the common school districts. Every school district we have today is descended from one of these districts. Humble was district number 28. There were 30 originally. By the way, Spring was number 4. So this was District 28. 1884, it's called the Dunman School District because there was no Humble at the time. And 4 years later, we get split into 2 districts. The top part remained District 28, but now it's called Humble because Humble came around in 1886. The bottom part is District 35, a new district called Dunman's. Now, over the next 20 years, we existed that way. And other districts popped up. By the time we get to 20 years later, there's now 49 districts. By the way, you're going to notice in the next slide, some of our land disappears here and here. We became a much smaller district. So in 1918, they put us back together. Now we're called District 50. We're still a Harris County Common School District. That means the Harris County Department of Education. And a few months later, in February of 1919, we get transformed by the Texas legislature into an independent school district. That means now we're our own masters. We don't have to listen to Harris County anymore. We have our own district. That's the celebration we're on right now. So in February, we actually turned 100. So let me talk about the celebrations. By the way, Scott, stand up. You've got a good arm. I brought some free T-shirts. You can toss those out if you want. He looks like he has a good arm, doesn't he?
It's been a while.
Yeah, okay. Go right ahead. You got 5. Just anywhere you want. Good catch. Good catch. Oh, yeah, I was afraid I'd do that too. One more. Oh, she backed away from that. All right, one more.
Long one.
Ooh. Oh, jeez. That's why I had you do that. All right, so among all the celebrations, we do have this massive history website. If you want to take a picture of the screen so you get the picture of the address, it's got everything you'll ever want to know about the district. It's massive. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the district-wide celebrations we've been doing. So we started off the year on August 25th with a district-wide pep rally. All the high schools were there. Their feeder zones. It was a great community event. Because remember, when we talk about the district, we're talking about everybody. We even had a performance by the band 59 North at the end of it. And we have a second big district celebration coming up on February the 16th at 6 o'clock p.m. It's called Humble ISD, 100 Years in the Making. I can't give you more details right now, but it'll be at Turner Stadium. Go ahead and just save the date for February 16th. The other things that are going on, there's some other events that either we're sponsoring or we're participating in or we're encouraging people to attend. So those are, there's the Lake Houston 10K, and they have that 1K this year on October 13th. November the 3rd is the Greater Lake Houston Heart Walk. We have a lot of participation in that. Jennifer talked to you about the Symphony Orchestra concert at the Bender. That's actually the Summer Creek High School Orchestra and the Atascocita High School Choir. Then, of course, we're really encouraging our people to be in the City of Humble Christmas Parade of Lights on December 4th. February 1st through 9th, this is the Humble Livestock Show, Cook-Off, and Rodeo. That's a big event here. And then we're going to finish off our celebrations on March 29th with the Humble ISD Education Foundation Gala. Now, just so you know, as teachers, we're always looking for connections for our students, trying to connect what they need to learn or what they should learn with something they might want to learn. So we're always making those connections. So what some of the things the campuses are doing is they have these 5 dress-up months. The first one we just finished where they got to pick a day of the month and do dress-ups in the 1920s. That was interesting. And right now we're in the 50s. We have the 60s, 70s, and 80s coming up throughout the year. And they really got into it. And it's not only the opportunity to dress up, it's the opportunity to make the connections about what was created in the 1920s, what literature, what historical, what medical stuff. It was really interesting. I mean, even the faculty got into it. It was a pretty good event. We also have a Texas historical marker coming. We don't know when yet. It was approved by the Texas Historical Commission. I spoke with them last week. We've finally been assigned a writer. So probably in a month, we'll get it written. It goes to the foundry after that. And when we get it, we'll have a ceremony for it. And then, as Mr. Stubbe mentioned, the City of Humble Beautification Committee, the ornament this year is the district's 100th anniversary. Those are on sale at City Hall. What are they, $15? Okay, go get one. They made a lot this year. Please go get them. And any questions? A lot of stuff. Hope you can participate in it with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Dr. Moe. And lastly, to tell us about some great things happening on Main Street and the Christmas parade, as Jason mentioned, and the Christmas light contest, Miss Gwen Willis.
Thank you, everyone. I am Gwen Willis. I am the chair for the City of Humble Beautification Committee, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about the upcoming Christmas parade. This is our 27th annual Christmas Parade of Lights. It does happen on Main Street from Railroad down to Avenue H. This year's theme is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, so we do encourage you to participate. It is the largest parade in the area. We typically have between 5,000 and 7,000 spectators here on the street of Main, and we have over 80,000 floats. So if you are interested in participating, 80, did I say 80,000? Woo! Yeah, so sorry about that. 80 floats, over 80. So if you're interested, you can go onto the City of Humble website and get that registration and then submit that to us, and we would love to have you participate. It is a great way for businesses to be recognized on Main Street with that many people out there. So please do that. And this year we are opening up the the lighting contest to the entire city of Humble. So if you are located in the city of Humble, please participate in the lighting contest, and we do have some prizes for that as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Great, thank you. Yeah, if you have not been to the Christmas parade, you ought to put that on your calendar because it is a lot of fun. And there's a lot more happening than just the parade. There's music and festivities and really a great event on downtown. And Santa Claus is there, that's right. Makes his first appearance of the year. So, and sometimes it snows. So if we have 80,000 floats, we start on December 4th and we end on December 24th. We just run it through the whole season. So, okay, anyone else have an announcement they'd like to quickly make? If not, I'll just remind you our next Bizcom, we're done for the year, so we'll see you back on January 10th, May 2nd, and October 3rd of 2019. So with that, everyone have a great holiday season if I don't see you before then, and we'll see you hopefully in January. But so hope to see you at some of these events coming up. Thank you.